Alright, y'all. Okay, so we are live now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so we are live. We are going to start now. Anyway, if you've been following my channel, you know I've made a video in the past about funded teacher training in the UK for those who are interested in teaching in or training to become teachers in the UK. Today, I'm going to interview two teachers who have been successful with the same process. They were able to get government bursary to come to the UK. These teachers are going to tell us in all honesty how they did it. All right. So you want to stay tuned and listen all the way through. I'm going to be joining them soon and then they will introduce themselves. All right. So is it Sammy I'm seeing?
Yes, there's Sammy.
All right. And our other colleague, pardon me, I don't know. I don't even know my guest. So I can't make them out. So forgive me for this. But where's our other colleague? Is he the one I've just added? Sammy, can you confirm for me, please?
Yes, you are right. He's
That's
the one.
Gabriel.
Yeah, sure.
That's Gabriel.
Gabriel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Bridget.
I want to really thank you all for making time for me. Honestly, I want you to see this as you helping out other people to also grab the opportunity you have gotten. Um, let's just say you are doing this for me, but at the same time, you are granting someone the opportunity to also find a UK opportunity to travel with all genuity, with all the interest. All right. So
Sure.
just a quick one, so we don't spend too much time. Um, can both of you introduce yourselves, please? Just a quick introduction.
Well, I prefer Gabriel to set the ball rolling.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Gabriel Amankwa. I am a Ghanaian. I was teaching in Ghana, and even though I was doing other things though, but basically I was a full-time teacher, physics teacher in Ghana. I taught in about three different schools in Ghana. I had about 5, 6 years experience as a science and physics teacher in Ghana, and currently I am with St. Mary's University on the Department of Education bursary. Yes, basically that's it.
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah,
All
nice.
right. Sammy, quick one.
Well, my name is Samuel Yawesiam, currently with Brighton University. I have 5 years experience in science and physics. I also taught in Russia, English, and now I'm under placement with Winnenden Community School.
Okay,
So,
that's nice.
welcome.
So we have Gabriel coming straight from Ghana, and we have Sammy coming from Russia with Ghanaian background, isn't it?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, that's good then. But just a quick one before we dive into it. Sammy, did you have a teaching license or qualification? Were you qualified as a teacher to get this opportunity?
Well, no, I didn't have any teaching license. It
Okay,
was just a desire to apply and come here.
That's okay then. I'll leave it there. We'll dive into it a bit later on. All right. So if you're watching us today, this is your opportunity to learn more about this UK opportunity. This is your chance for you to find out how Sami and Gabriel did it, both as qualified teacher and non-qualified teacher, to also get the opportunity to come to the UK to train and teach. This is Bridget's Aram channel. If today is your first time joining us on this channel, kindly like and subscribe. We share good content like this on this channel, which is to guide other people to also find relocation opportunities. Now, straight into it. I'll be moving to Gabriel first because I understand you have a limited time with us. So, Gabriel, what motivated you? First of all, how did you even find out about this UK teacher training and what motivated you to take up the opportunity?
Thank you very much, Bridget. That is very interesting. Okay. Funny enough, Sami was my mate when we were both doing BSc physics. So we know ourselves way back. But after BSc, we all find our ways. So I think we've not even met since, Sami, how many years now? 10 years since we graduated from the university. Yes. Let me also correct this. I'm not a trained teacher. I mean,
Oh,
I
I
don't
see.
have a teaching license in Ghana. So in Ghana, I was teaching as a non-professional teacher. So I was only teaching with my BSc. So I was considered, or I was teaching as a non-professional teacher, as we say,
Professional teacher.
yeah,
Makes it
in Ghana.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, that should
Okay.
motivate those people who think only qualified teachers are able to get this opportunity. So thank you for clarifying that.
Okay. Yeah. So, however, thank you too. However, those qualified teachers or those with teaching license can also apply and then
Sure.
come in to also through the same route. Okay. So let
Sure.
me get back to your question. Coming to your question, I think I heard about this program, if I remember very well, somewhere around 2023, middle 2023. I was just there one day, and a friend of mine who happens to be my hostel mate way back at the university sent me someone's number that the his friend is trying to help people relocate. So I contacted this person, and then the person gave me a lot of information. But basically, there was a group that we all joined. Later, someone else also added me to a certain group, and they were just talking about it. Now, I'm not saying this to kind of make other people look bad, but we're in the group, and I mean, they were discussing a lot of things, and it got to a point whereby you have to kind of pay something for them to do the application for you. So I was also, like I said, I was also doing something else. So it got to a point I asked myself, okay, um, if this is the opportunity and I do not want someone to apply for me, why don't I do my own research? So I remember I took a whole week because I didn't know where to start. So I remember very well, I started by searching on the internet, teaching physics in the UK. And then I decided to go through the links one by one, one by one. And then eventually I went to the Department of Education website, Get Into Teaching website, and I found tons of information over there. I read through. I wasn't convinced. I think I went in there the next day. I did that for about 3 days, and then later I decided to gather a lot of information. So I gathered information. I went through how to apply, the benefits, and the benefits as an international student, the benefit as a local student, and the other scholarship from the IOP. IOP is basically Institute of Physics. And then we have the Royal Society of Chemistry also offers scholarship. So I went through all these things on my own. And then when I was convinced that I've had enough information, I decided to do the application myself. One of the challenges that I had was writing a catchy statement of purpose, because I wrote first time I felt like it wasn't enough. So I relaxed, came back to it some days later, and then I polished it. And then eventually I was able to write something that I think it was nice. I'm basically saying everything, but I'm supposed to just wait. But I even remember the first school that I applied rejected me because of my statement of purpose, that my statement of purpose wasn't catchy enough. So I also, even the polished one, I had to also polish it again.
Polish again.
Yes, yes, before I was able to grant myself the first interview. Now, you asked a question that I didn't answer. What motivated me to become a teacher? I I always say that I became a teacher by mistake. When I say that, yeah, when I say that, what I mean is I actually decided to join GES because I wanted to get time to do something else. So
Okay.
initially, I was supposed to just teach for a year or two, and then when I'm finished with what I was doing, I'll be able to. I mean, I'll leave and then go and join, do what I felt like it
What
was.
you love.
Yeah, 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 what I love. But eventually,
Okay.
I got into teaching, and then I'm stuck. Even though I tried to leave so many times, but I feel like that is where I belong to. Because
That's where you
basically,
belong.
when you feel like you're having impact on people, the job that you're
Exactly.
doing, and then you're having impact on people, sometimes you'll be there, and some of your students will be, oh, say, if not you, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this. It's
Oh,
not motivating enough. So basically, the feedback that I get from my former student and my student is my motivation. That is the reason why I'm still doing
that's
the teaching.
really inspiring.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring. Thank you so much. Sami, can you just give us a brief of your motivation and where you got the information? Just a brief one.
Well, so for me, I had information on your Telegram channel. Um,
Oh,
I was, yeah, I think you posted this information on 9th May 2024. So by
wow.
then I
You're
was in Russia.
today.
Yeah, I was in Russia, and even before that, I taught for 5 years in Ghana. I did my national service as a physics teacher in one of the senior high schools in Upper West, and then came to Accra. Also taught science and physics in Accra. But I felt like maybe I don't like teaching, even though in my family, most of them are teachers. So I had a break, then switched into business, into poultry farm, and then also selling of car parts and stuff. Then I had an opportunity to go to Russia to pursue my education in higher physics, that is nuclear medicine, masters. So right in Russia, I was communicating with your husband, and then he told me, I said, okay, why not? I took the pain, did a lot of research, and then luckily enough for me, I had an advisor from the UK because it's free. You can apply for an advisor. So I did. Had this lady who used to coach me. I wrote my statement of purpose, and then she guided me that I should make it more catchy. I should make it more personal. So that is what I did basically, and then try to go through all the universities that apply based on their acceptance rate, and also after the program, how well their graduate gets a job easily in the UK. So that landed me here.
I see. Two different perspectives. Someone who didn't have an advisor, did it completely by himself. Well, got information prior, but literally did everything by himself. And then someone who got information as well and also got extra support from an advisor right from the UK. Different perspectives, perfect combination. So this is really good. But I just want to find out how difficult or easy was the application process itself? Who wants to go first? Gabriel,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll go first. Thank you. Now, There is this saying that if you want to hide something from a black man, put it into reading. I don't like reading. I mean, I don't like reading. But this whole process has showed me that reading is very good. We can do whatever that we want to do. We just have to read. The white man has encoded everything, all the information in reading, and it is freely and accessible on the internet. In fact, I've met a lot of people in my school. I've met a lot of Ghanaians that paid huge sum of monies to people to apply for them. Meanwhile, the information is online. You just have to read, and then you'll find. Now, what I'm basically trying to say is that if you want to read, it's not difficult. Like if you like reading, it's not difficult. But if you don't like reading, like myself, then you will have to do a lot of work, because you have to do a lot of reading before you get the information. And some of the information are repeated, because sometimes you click a link and then it's almost the same information, just a little bit addition. So apart from the reading side, there is no difficulties. I remember even when I was applying for the face, I was a little bit afraid. I was a little bit scared that what if I get something wrong? Even when I was buying my plane ticket, I felt like, what if I get something wrong? So from the beginning to the end, I did everything myself. I didn't allow any agent to help me. It was basically myself. Even though, like Sammy said, I applied for an advisor, but unfortunately for me, I never got one. I applied so many times. Yeah, but I didn't get they didn't get back to me. Yeah. So I know I'm making it a little bit scared, but it's not difficult at all if you read, if you have the information, if you have if you know how to just maneuver your way through the internet, and then you don't even need laptop necessarily need a laptop to go through. You can even use your phone. Excuse me, because I started with my phone. Yes, so it's not easy at all if you have the right information, but it will be very difficult for you if you don't like reading, because sometimes you have to read a whole page before you get a piece of information. Yes. So yeah, basically it's not difficult. Yes. It's only difficult if you don't like reading. If reading is a difficulty for you, then it will be difficult for you. Yes, thank you.
So do you sort of apply with a CV, or how is the application itself? Do you need a CV? Do you need a cover letter, or how do you write your statements of purpose? Do you have to email it to the school? How do you do the application in itself?
Okay, thank you. So the whole application process, you need a CV, but you don't need a CV pre-typed CV, because the whole application process, it will be asking you what you have done since you completed university, or you completed your degree. So the kind of work you've done, and if there is maybe a gap, you have to explain the gap. Basically, that kind of gap, they just want to know what you did between that period, not necessarily working or not working. They want to know whether, probably they just want to check your criminal record. That is how I see it, because they want to know if you are working and then you break, what caused the break. They also want to check whether you are fit enough. So was it sickness? Was it something that you did that you were bad from doing your work or something? Basically, that's what they want you to do. So if you had a break because maybe maybe you fell sick, then you just have to give the information to them. So basically, that is your CV that you are providing, but then it's not a pre-typed CV that you are going to upload. Yes.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
and then sorry.
no,
And then
you go on.
okay, thank you. And then the statement of purpose, what you're basically talking about is why you want to teach, what, like you asked, what motivated you, why you want to teach, why you want to come to UK to teach. Basically, that is what you want to write. And interestingly, the points that you need to include in your statement of purpose, it's even on the website. They will tell you the way, the points, the areas that you need to include in your statement of purpose. Yeah.
Okay. Sammy, anything to add?
Yeah, well, also, as my brother said, if you don't read, you wouldn't get information. And then most of us, especially we Ghanaians, we like to sit back in the comfort of our homes and then pay money to people to do everything for us, which is very bad and also waste of money. Yeah, so for he made mention something about gap in your when you're writing your CV, especially apart from the criminal check. What they also want to know, maybe you graduated your first degree a very long time ago, like me 10 years ago, and you didn't do anything, but now you want to enter into the teaching. It means you should explain what you did between this gap. I also went through that because I remember I stopped teaching in the year 2020 in Ghana, and then I started teaching, but not in physics in Russia. So I was able to tell them that I bridged the gap with education because I did my master's program in Russia, which was also related to physics. And that was what helped me. So you also try to do something, anything that you did related to teaching or knowledge, or you need to have something called knowledge enhancement. So if you don't have any knowledge about the program you are coming to do, the school or the university can also ask you to enhance it by doing some courses online, which is free. And maybe you will be like it's likely you will be paid to after the program or after the course. And then also with the statement of purpose, according to my advice, what she told me was I should make it personal. You know, Gabriel said, why do you want to become a teacher? Yes, it's true. You need to write something about that. But we should remember that now we are in a technological world whereby we want to use AI. I wouldn't advise you to use an AI. Just sit back, reflect what motivated you. It could be your primary teacher, maybe it could be your uncle, maybe it could be a friend. Okay, so it should be personal. Write it personal. Let the person reading this purpose feel you in it. And again, you should also talk about when you come to the UK. I mean, you want to enter into the education field. What um, what's something special that you want to introduce, or what do you want to bring? Since we have a cultural differences, what do you want to bring or introduce into the teaching field? So you should also be able to talk about something like that in your statement of purpose, and then you are good to go.
Okay. So basically without subject knowledge, you can
Mhm.
still, if you have the interest, you can still express your interest and have a subject knowledge enhancement. And then you can go ahead to do the postgraduate certificate in education we are talking about. Is that what you mean? I think
Yeah.
that's really it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really good. Really good. Especially maybe you want to become a teacher. Maybe you're not a teacher now, but you graduated 5 or 6 years ago. So between this gap, you want to enhance your knowledge in the course you want to come and teach in the UK or to be trained in the UK. So they will advise you to do this short course, okay, to help you to, I mean, refresh everything that you learned some years ago before you come into a teaching training, something like that.
That's marvelous. Anyway, I see all the comments. And also, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments section as we go on. All right. Um, well, just so to add, this bursary or this government support that we are talking about, we'll come to that later. But for now, we just want to see how the application process is and everything. But this government funding, according to Department of Education, is available to those who want to train to become physics teachers and languages teachers. Am I right?
Okay. Yes. Um, Now let me take us back one step before I talk about this. Now, your interest is important, just like Sammy said, and so you don't necessarily have to have a physics degree. Engineers can also apply. So you also apply with a transcript, but it depends on the school, the university, or the teacher training provider. Some teacher training providers require a certain percentage of physics because physics and engineering are a little bit closer. So you might not have BSc physics on your certificate. You might have BSc something, but if you have a physics related, courses, a certain percentage of physics related courses on it, some university may consider you to apply. Now, you don't have to have a strong subject knowledge, just like Sammy said, but you need to prove that you have passed through some kind of training in physics or passed through some kind of training in languages, whether it is French, whether it's German, Russian, Spanish, and so on and so forth. Now, people can also be trained as a biology specialist or chemistry specialist, but those ones, they do not get bursary as international student. Local students enjoy these bursaries, but international students do not enjoy bursary when they are coming in with a chemistry degree or um, or a biology degree, or even English, because I know a lot of Ghanaians with English degree. So basically, they call it a modern foreign language. So if
Languages, yeah.
yeah, if the language is foreign to the British people, then
UK. Yeah.
yeah, to the UK people, then you are qualified to
Okay.
kind of
So, if you are an international student, now I'm being specific. So,
yes,
if you apply as a non-UK citizen
yes,
and you are applying to train to teach physics or languages, which is Mandarin, French,
hmm
Spanish, and those other MFLs,
yes,
then you can get the government bursary, even as an international student.
exactly.
Okay, thank you for the clarity. That's really
Also,
nice.
let me
Yeah,
also clarify this. You don't necessarily have to have the French, the physics, or the all the languages on your certificate, but
sure.
if there is an aspect of it in your transcript, you can apply, and some universities may consider you. So,
So
for
let's
instance,
just say, maybe you studied maths, your degree was in maths, but
mhm,
you did a bit of physics in it.
yes,
Some universities can consider you for the physics training as well
yes,
with
yes,
the bursary.
exactly,
That's good.
yes, yes.
That's really
But
good.
yeah, let me also correct this. We we are not being trained to just teach physics alone.
Oh, okay.
So let me also correct that. You will not be trained to teach physics alone. You need to also show a little bit of subject knowledge in other areas of science. So
Yes.
if you're coming in to teach, if I, for instance, with a physics degree, I will be teaching for in the secondary school, I will be teaching other areas of science. And then in the A level, if my school, I find myself, I have A level in that school, then when I complete, I will teach physics at the A level. But in the training, you just need to show evidence that you can teach all the three sciences at the secondary school. So if I compare it with the Ghana curriculum, it's like you teaching science in our JSS and our SS.
Like
Yeah, and
integrated science.
yeah, integrated science in our JSS and then the SS. Yes, basically that is how it is. But then the A level is a little bit higher than our SS, but it's not up to the university level. And that area is when you're just going to teach your physics. So if you have
Okay.
an engineering background and then in your transcript you have a lot of physics courses in, you can apply. There are even schools that do what we call offer what we call engineers teach physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are also there with bursaries.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's good. Sammy,
they
anything to
can also
add?
Yeah, well, I think my brother has said a lot. So basically, you don't need to have any science background. The whole thing is about your interest to be trained to become a teacher, just your interest. So even though the your program you did as in BSc might not necessarily be a main factor, it's just your interest. For instance, he said something like maybe you were trained in biology, but you did a bit of physics, or you were trained in chemistry. On your transcript, it shows that you did a bit of physics or maths. You can still apply. It's just about interest and then willingness to be trained to become a teacher. And it all boils down to how you write your statement of purpose, how you make it to be catchy. Okay. For the person reading to feel like, yeah, this guy or this lady really wants to what? Be trained, to be taught to become a teacher in the UK. Obviously, of course, you wouldn't be trained only in your specification. You will be trained across all board. So for me, currently in the school I am practicing, I teach physics, chemistry, biology, and everything. 4 different year groups. Yeah. And then another thing too I want to add is before you start application, you need to make sure that you check the eligibility. What is the meaning of this? Um, the DFE, that is the Department of Education in UK, um, through this route, you shouldn't have a degree certificate, which is education in education. It should just BSc. If you have BSc something in education, you can apply through this route. There's a different route that you need to go through. So just have a BSc certificate, and then you are willing to be trained to become a teacher. That is one thing we should pay attention to. Because if your certificate is in education, you can't use this route because through the checks they will tell you have education, so you can't use it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, just a quick one. Skipping to the bursary itself. I know you can either get a bursary or a scholarship.
yeah.
Who decides when you get bursary or scholarship? Is it the school or after your application? Like at what stage do you get information about whether you're getting a bursary or a scholarship? Also, I want you to put all these answers in one. Is the bursary applied automatically or you have to apply for it? I mean, both the bursary and scholarship, if you have any idea about the scholarship, because I know you are on bursaries. You may not have enough information about scholarships, but then if you do you have to apply for bursary or scholarship after you've been made an offer? Also, last one, the amount you're being offered, is it enough to cater for your living expenses, your fees, and everything? Accommodation. How is it like? Tell us.
Okay, so let me start from your last question. The bursary amount, as to whether it will be enough or not, depends on the university you apply and where in the UK or in England you live. So that is what I can say. Now, the government will give you the bursary. You use some of the bursary to pay your school fees. I know universities that charges more than they charges tuition fee. Their tuition fees are more than what the bursary offer. Some are one third,
Way less. Hmm.
some are half of it. So it depends. So I will entreat everyone, if you're interested and you're applying, when you're applying to that university, your tuition fee will be there. So you need to make sure that you are applying to a university, or let me put it, you need to make sure that you're applying to an affordable university. That is very, very important. So you check the school fees, and then you subtract the school fees from the bursary, and then you know you make sure that how much that will be left will be enough for you. And you also need to have an idea of the city that the university in the range of rent, how much rent is going to cost. That is also very, very important. Apart from that, food is not too expensive in the UK. I don't know whether I've been able to answer that side of the question. And I
Yes.
think if you can remind me, I think you asked a couple of questions I've forgotten.
Yes, I asked, you've answered the third question, and I
Mhm.
asked whether the scholarship or bursary is applied automatically or you need to um,
Mhm.
apply for
So,
it separately, and at what stage you will get
okay,
to know that you get a bursary.
okay. Um, in the 2026-2027 academic year, the last time I checked, the bursary for physics graduates is it's £29,000 for the whole year, and that of French modern foreign language is £26,000. I stand to be corrected though, but that is the last time I checked. That is, I saw something like that. Now, also the scholarship from IOP, that is Institute of Physics, which is an association for physicists. The last time I checked was £31,000. So it is, I think, somewhere around £2,000 higher than the bursary. Yes. Now, according to the DFC website, if you hold 2-1 or 2-2, sorry, if you have a degree, you have a second class lower, at least second
Yeah.
class lower in
So
physics,
anything from second class lower, second class upper,
class
and
upper
first
and first
class.
class, you may be eligible for the bursary.
Oh,
I think that is it. So is if you have minimum of second class lower, you may be eligible for the bursary, and you do not have to apply for the bursary. For the scholarship,
wonderful.
you will have to apply it. So
Oh, okay.
if you qualify and everything is correct, then you automatically enjoy the bursary. You don't have to apply. Yes. So I mean, I don't know whether you can add if you have something to add.
So at what stage were you informed that you're getting a bursary?
Okay. So
Was it during interview, after interview, during offer? At what stage?
so I knew, like I said, I read a lot of information. I knew that I may be eligible for the bursary before applying. So I during the interview, I also asked whether it's true that I will be eligible for the interview. I asked, I think that was the first question that I asked. And then yeah, yeah, it's very important. So I asked that question, and then I was told that yes, since I have my class qualifies me, I may be eligible. So when I completed or when I satisfied all the conditions, I wrote to the university and requested for my bursary letter, a letter that shows that I I I I am eligible or I've been given the bursary, and the university gave me a bursary letter. So that is what I used
Oh,
to apply
oh,
for
I
my
see.
yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Sammy, what about you?
Yeah, my brother has said a lot. Yes, so um, my bursary offer came after I think I received a letter in May, even though I had admission in 2024 November, just 2 weeks after my interview. Because during my interview, the person who interviewed me told me that I will just pick you. I just like you, I'll pick you. That's what she told me. So the interview,
Amazing.
they are they are in two say ways. First, you have a group one, you'll be given a task to write something, maybe a topic. You write something on it, and then you come in a topic related to your course you have come to do in the UK. And then you write something about prepare. You'll be given like a month to do that. So you discuss within the group. And then the second one is personal one-on-one. You have another person to meet you one-on-one where most of the questions will just be like problems in the UK education. Why do you want to come to the UK? what do you have to offer in education, that kind
Like
of,
a proper official interview, isn't it?
yes, something like that. So admission comes first. In summary, I would say that the admission comes first. If everything is fine and the school gives you an admission, then with physics, that is what you want to be trained. Um, I would say that you may get a bursary, but you will get it. For me, I know that you get it.
The
I
word is
wouldn't use
always may.
yes, may, but yes, you will get it. So for me, what happened was after the interview, and I know that I've gained the admission. I told my advisor, and then she told me that she is not aware that this year, I mean 2025, 2026 academic year, the government is going to give bursaries for, to international students. So I was like, okay, let me wait. And then in December 25th, on Christmas Day, I received an email from my advisor telling me that the government said they will give. I was okay, well, then let me wait for my university. So next year in May, my university gave me the data that based on my whatever, I qualify for £29,000 bursary, and then that is it.
So you did not write to the school requesting for your bursary letter. You got it automatically.
No, yeah, because I
That's
knew that
amazing.
if they will pay, it means I may get it.
Yeah.
That is, if the government will pay for bursaries
So
for international students, I may get it. So I
that's
didn't
okay.
register it at the school.
So about the person asking what available bursaries options are, what options are available for untrained international teachers looking to pursue teacher training in the UK. That's what we are discussing now. The bursary decision is entirely the decision of the government, and it depends on the subject area you are intending to train to teach. Your qualification may or may not matter, as we've already discussed. This is like
Yeah,
a summary. But then at the end of the day, when you apply and you qualify, you are going to be contacted by the Department of Education or by your school itself to let you know the amount they are going to give you for your subject area, basically, isn't it?
yeah.
Yes. So I hope we've answered your question. Vandaski TV 3046. I don't know who this person is, but I hope your question is answered. Now, Gabriel, quick one. I understand you were supposed to leave us by 5:40. Is that right? Do you want to stay?
I'll stay for a while. I guess there's some.
Perfect. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Really appreciate it.
Easy.
All right. So now, I think I'm skipping certain things, but quick one. You've talked a bit about the interview. I want us to talk about the visa application and dependents. People are that's where people are usually worried about whether they'll be able to bring their family and whether how the visa application is, how much it's going to cost them. So first things first, what documents did you need for your visa application? And if you
All
can
right.
also brief it with how much it cost you in general.
Okay. Again, how much it costs depends on the university. The
Okay.
university, the teacher training institution that you got. Why I'm saying that is that some university require you to pay some sort of tuition deposit before they will give you CAS. I don't know whether you've discussed CAS. CAS is basically what we call confirmation of acceptance of studies. It's a document that the UKVI will give to a licensed university because the university is bringing you in. So they have a serial number that they will give the university, and the university will give you, and then you use it to apply for the visa. So basically, it's a document that you need to before you can apply for the visa. So some
So that
university,
is, if you're coming for work, that is your certificate of sponsorship.
something like that. Yeah, it's your certificate of sponsorship. So yeah, so that is what you need before you apply for the visa. Now, some university may require you to pay some deposit before they'll give you that document. My university made me pay. I paid, I think, 2,500 pounds.
Yeah.
2,500 pounds. That is
It
what I
can
paid.
fall. I know people who
Yeah,
were charged about
yeah,
£4,000 as
exactly. In
deposit.
my school, those who are training to become French or modern foreign language teacher paid up to 5,000. Some schools paid up to 8,000. Some school pay, I think 50%, and some
I see.
universities will not pay at all.
At all.
So how much you will spend depends on the university that you apply, and that is the reason why you need to make your research to know the kind of university that will require you to pay or otherwise.
And let me chip this in. Just a warning. Once you apply on the DFE website and you an offer is made to you and you accept the offer, all your other applications are wiped off.
Exactly. Yes.
So you
Yes.
can't say, okay, I'm waiting to get 2 or 3 applications and then I'll decide which one. So be very careful over there.
Yeah.
Once you accept an offer, everything goes off and then you're stuck with that school. All right, you can go on.
Yeah. Now let me put this one through before I continue. I applied. I was supposed to come in 2024. Because I told you I started this conversation by saying I was doing something else. I felt like, oh, let me just concentrate on what I was doing. So I applied. I got admission, and the university that I'm being trained in, the person who wanted to help me apply that, later I decided to do it myself. He introduced the university. He said that, oh, okay, I know someone who went to St. Mary's, so I applied to St. Mary's. So I mean, my communication with him didn't end there anyway. So let me give it to him for that. So he told me to apply to St. Mary's in our conversation, and then I did apply. So fast forward, I applied, I got it, but then later I stopped, like I didn't follow it. So I think somewhere around July last year, I think August or July last year, I received an email that my application has been cancelled. So in October last year, I applied again. Initially, I decided not to go. That is why they canceled it. So I applied again. I applied different universities, got an interview date, but then later I decided to apply this same university again. I applied, I submitted my document, my certificate, and then they gave me automatic admission without interview because I had already done interview the
Okay.
previous year. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
that is
very
basically,
good.
that's basically what happened.
Okay.
Now, getting to the documents that I used to apply for the visa. Now, before you apply for the visa, you need to apply for CAS, Confirmation of Acceptance of Studies. I don't know for other universities. So all the documents that I need to apply for the visa, my university made it compulsory to use the same document to apply for the
For the
CAS.
class. Okay.
So the university has a website that you apply the CAS over there. So that is where I uploaded all the documents. So they will cross-check and make sure that the documents are all genuine. And if they are genuine, they will issue you the CAS. Mind you, some will have to do an interview for the CAS before you get the CAS. So yeah,
Oh,
some applicants will also do interview for the CAS. You do the interview, it's either with the university or with UKVI before you even get the CAS to apply for it. So these are the documents. My certificates, practically all the documents that you use to apply for the program. So
for the
my
program
BSc
itself.
certificate, my transcript, my passport, obviously, which is a form of ID, and for the visa, my unconditional offer, my bursary letter, and in some cases, birth certificate. I'm not too
Yeah.
sure whether I added the birth certificate. So the certificates you have to I added my WASI certificate and then my university certificate. So if you have any other certificates that is academic certificate that is relevant, so if you have masters, you may also decide to kind of add that one with your yes. So basically, that is it. If I've answered, or Sammy will have to also add
I think
something to it.
that's fair. Yes, let Sammy
Yeah.
add what he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the application, what I'll say is documents you will need to apply with to the Department of Education. You need your transcript, you need your certificate itself, you need your passport, you need your statement of purpose, and also you need something we call statement of comparability.
Thank you.
Now, what is the statement of comparability means? It means that, the UK educational system is different from what we have in Ghana or Africa. So you need to compare this document to see that whether it is the same as what they have in the UK. And that statement of comparability, it cost me £56. That was last year when I applied for. You just go to their website, maybe after the program, you can leave the link there for them to see. And then you upload all certificates or documents you have. So which document did I compare? I compared my WASI, my BSc, and my MSc. So any certificate you have that you think it is related or it is good for you to use, just compare
Yeah.
them.
All
Any
the way from
certificate
secondary school.
from secondary school upwards. Now, if you have SSC, you can't use it. They only use WASI. So maybe you wrote SSC but not WASI. It means you can't use that. So they only accept WASI and then your BSc. And if you have MSc too, you can add it to it. And then they compare everything for just £56. But currently, when I checked, it costs £69 for
Oh,
this year. £69. So
to be
in all,
fair, it's still affordable compared to what you have to pay for other countries, evaluation wise. And
yeah,
the
yeah,
process, the UK comparability process is quite straightforward. You don't need
yeah.
to contact your school to send the documents on your behalf, blah blah blah. You just have to get the documents yourself, scan and upload, and voila, you're done.
That is all.
So I think
Yeah,
it's still the easiest and most affordable comparability anyone can ever do. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair
And also for me, I didn't pay any deposit. That
for
is
your school.
mine. I read it on the Department of Education website, and I saw that I'm supposed to pay £5,000 deposit, and I was confused. So I wrote to my school that do I need to pay this £5,000 deposit, even though I have a bursary of £29,000? And then they told me no. Since I am on bursary, automatically I don't need to pay. The bursary caters for everything. So that is what I was told. So I didn't pay for any deposit. So they asked me to just move on to apply for my CAS. That is all. So it's just a form. You need to put your name, your passport number, and some basic information. And then you apply for the CAS. Then they
Okay.
will respond and give you their CAS number. Then before you can go ahead to apply for your visa. Yeah. And a visa, as my brother said, you need your CAS. It's very important. If you don't have a CAS, you can never start the visa application. And with a visa application too, you need to pay for something called health surcharge.
Oh,
Because in
Immigration
the
health
UK,
surcharge.
yeah, in the UK, unlike traveling to other countries, you can get your visa and then buy your medical
Health
insurance. In the
insurance.
UK, they've already embedded this medical insurance, or they call it health surcharge, in the visa application form. So if you don't pay for the health surcharge, you can never proceed to apply for the visa. That is one thing we should also note. And that health
Okay.
surcharge, it costs £776 for a year. So because my program is more than a year, they calculated it to be like 1.5 years. So I paid 1,130 something pounds for the duration. And
That's a lot
then
of
before you
money.
can apply for your visa,
Okay.
something like that.
A quick one for Gabriel. When you
now,
pay the deposit,
okay.
when you pay the deposit, did they deduct that deposit from your total fees at the end of the year?
Thank you for that. Now, before I answer this question, I would also want to add something that I forget. I forgot. You also have to, before you apply the visa, you need a TB certificate. Yes, before you apply, you need a TB certificate. So there are accredited health institutions in Ghana that you have to go and then do the TB test over there. If I remember very well, it was around 1,000 Ghana. Yeah. So that is also very important.
So
Without
you
it,
can't just do the TB test in any hospital at
no,
all.
no, no,
There
no,
are
no, 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 no.
specific accredited institutions you
Yeah,
have to do
there are
it.
specific accredited institutions that you have to do. And
Okay.
yes, it's around 1,000 Ghana. Even though on the visa application website, I think it says it is 120 pounds, but when I went there, I paid only 1,000 Ghana. It's less than that. Also,
Okay.
the statement of comparability, not all universities require the statement of comparability because my university didn't ask me to do that. And I know a couple of
Um,
universities that, yes. And even this year, I tried to help a friend in a certain university that asked her to do a statement of comparability. So it depends on the
yes, it
university
is.
that you apply. But
I'm
some
just
university,
wondering. Yeah, you go on.
yeah, some university will request for a statement of comparability. Yeah, that is very important.
I actually like the fact that we are having different perspectives. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
this is a good guidance for those who are watching and those who are interested in doing it.
yes.
So it's not like a definite way of doing things.
No,
But
no.
yeah, one important thing. No, two. Two very important things. Did you need IELTS or any English language test? And two, did you need a bank statement, proof of funds?
Okay.
Please tell us.
Now, I have forgotten your first question that before I chip this in, but let me answer this. Now, there is one important thing. My school did not ask for IELTS. In fact, I remember I wrote an email. Now, everybody listening to this should pay attention to this very well. UK schools are not like our schools. Whatever little information that you need, you're not sure, you can just write to admissions. If admissions do not have the information, they will direct you to the right office. So they'll write back to you and copy the office that is responsible for that. So whatever information that you need, in fact, I'll talk for my university. From the time that I had a conditional offer to the time that I had an unconditional offer, my university held series of webinars to kind of give us information about the whole process. So even when we're about applying for the cast, they did a webinar to tell us how we're supposed to do it, the kind of things that we need to do it. The visa application to the same thing. So every now and then, even though they usually hold a whole webinar for all the applicant, both undergrad and postgrads, they usually hold a special one for PGCE, and then they also hold a special one for those on bursary. So we should take that into consideration. Now, banks IELTS. Let me talk about IELTS. I have seen universities. I've visited universities' website that specifically state that we require IELTS. So I think around that time, I wrote to my university to ask them whether I am required IELTS, and then they told me that the only English language proof that I need is my WASI. They specifically stated WASI, C6 or high. So from A1 to C6. That is what my university asks. Some university, it may be different. So again, the university that you are applying to, you must visit the university website. There are a lot of information on the various universities' website that you can find. Proof of funds. Now, This is what my university said about the proof of funds. The UKVI required those studying in London to have a minimum amount of money per month. So I think, if I remember very well, it was a little bit around about 4,000, sorry, £1,400 per month.
Per month. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are studying in UK and then you'll be studying in London, you need to have at least 1,400. So let me just run it to £1,500 a month. I think outside London is somewhere around 1,200. I stand to be corrected, but it's around that area.
Right.
Yes. So this is what my university did. They subtracted the school fees from the bursary, and then the remaining one, they realized that it will not be up to the amount that I'm supposed to get. Therefore, then they asked me to pay the £2,500. So deposit. So the deposit was, yes, it was subtracted from my fees, but then the receipt from the deposit that I paid, and then the letter, the bursary letter was enough for me to apply for the visa. So we did not require anything, any proof of funds. However, I talked to someone in my university who completed last year, and the person told me that since our first bursary will come after a month, then you need to show something that for the first 1 month, you have some money in your account to kind of cater for yourself. Even though, again, I know people in my university that did not show anything. So because I heard that one, sometimes some of us, we are afraid of our house people, So we just decided to get something small to show that, even though I have bursary and I satisfy the UKVI condition, the minimum amount I'm supposed to get for every month in my whole period, that is my bursary and then my deposit, I still showed a little amount of money in my account. Yeah. But then I know people who didn't show in the same university, they didn't show anything, no proof of funds, but then their visa were approved. Yes.
I think that's fair. That's a fair move. I will use myself as an example. When I moved as a nurse, I came on a work visa, so completely different, but kind of related. Our employers take maintenance on the certificates of sponsorship they give us to prove that they are going to take care of us. The proof of funds is basically money to take care of yourself for the first month until you get your first salary. In our case, as workers.
Yes.
So the employer take maintenance, meaning they are going to take care of myself and my family for the first 1 month of arrival until we get our first paycheck.
Okay.
So then when we arrive, for them to sort of cover their backs in case UKVI comes after them, okay, their first 1 month that they came, what did you do for them? They gave us a hamper and we were entitled to an interest-free loan of £1,000 to 1,000. So you can take more. You can't take more. You can take less, or you can take up to £1,000. So they give you this money, you take it from your salary in bits over a period of months, and that becomes your maintenance for the first 1 month before your salary arrives. So I think that's really fair. It was a good move that you had something in your account to show for it. I think it was a really, really good move. Sunny, have you got anything for us?
Well, from my side, what I would say is, okay, let me start with IELTS. Now, for me, even though, as he said, my colleague said, IELTS is a requirement for visa application if you want to move to the UK. But I realized that, as he said his school didn't allow him to write the IELTS, right? Gabby,
Yes.
am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, it was part of my conditions, even though I
Okay.
had a degree. So that was the only condition that I need to satisfy before I can apply for the visa. And then I wrote to the school. I have English in my WASI. I compared. It's the same as the UK. Why do I need to write IELTS? Because I was very curious. And then I realized that my school, the cutoff point for English is C4,
Mhm.
but I had C5. So I have to what? Write it. And then, I was in Russia by then. It was kind of difficult for me, I wouldn't lie. But with the help of my wife, she motivated me wherever she is, kudos to her, that I should go and write the IELTS. Because of the special operation in Russia and what is happening there now, most of these foreign institutions are closed down. So I couldn't write the IELTS in Russia. I have to travel to either Ghana or Kazakhstan. But Kazakhstan, I wouldn't get a visa because I need to know someone there who can invite me. And I can't, why should I travel to Ghana, which is very far away, whilst Kazakhstan is just close to Russia? But I couldn't do that. So later I realized that I wrote to the school and then they advised me that if I really want to come, I should get the IELTS. There's no way they can accept the condition if I don't have the IELTS. They are sorry. So my wife did some research and they realized that we could travel to Philippines, which is a visa-free country for Ghanaians. So I took leave from work, traveled to the Philippines with my wife, kind of vacation, but I wrote the IELTS in Philippines and then passed. The IELTS, the score they required for me was C1, which is 7.0 and above. So anything less than 7.0, you can't satisfy the condition. So that is my side. For bank statement, no. I was told by my university that since I am on bursary, there is no need for me to prove. That money is enough to prove that I have enough money. But one thing I also tell your listeners is in the application process, you should invest more time
Yes.
in researching into the schools. What I did was I had a table, an Excel table. I went through a lot of schools, about almost 600 schools, and I had about 15 of my choice, just 15. So I had a school and I had a placement schools where they can place you. I had a fee that I'm supposed to pay, and then the bursary, I put it in a column. The course of length, it should be full course, not half course. You should go
Yeah.
for a full year program. Qualification after the program, what you will get, and also degree that the school or university accepts. So you should make a research in all these things. And also the acceptance rate. The university you're applying to, what is their acceptance rate? Is it 5%? Is it 10% for international students? So I did all this and I just tried to get some group of universities which have acceptance rate from 60% to 90%. And these are the schools I applied to. And luckily enough, I had this university. So some of the universities is not just applying to any university, but you need to get to know what is acceptance rate for international students in this particular university before you apply for that. And then for visa is also another headache problem for me because I was in Russia. Now, the UK embassy in Russia wasn't closed down. Even still, it hasn't been closed down. But they reduced the number of slots for applicants. I waited for almost a month. I was still not getting a slot. So I wrote to the school again, and then they advised me that it will be time consuming and also a lot of money involved. I should go back to Ghana, apply for the visa in Ghana. So I went to Ghana. By then, I even contacted my friend, Gabby, and there was another guy too. And then he told me that he just went for his visa appointment in Ghana last week, and there are a lot of slots in Ghana. So I also checked online and then applied in Ghana, and then canceled the one I applied in Russia. Then I went to Ghana for the visa. Within 2 weeks, I had a visa and I left to the UK. So that is what I also went through. I don't know if there is something I left, you can let me know.
Right. So we've gone over 1 hour now. I think we should be wrapping up because people might be tired already. It's a lot of
Yeah.
good information. I won't
Yeah.
lie, but when it gets too long, it start getting our
For
brains start going foggy and everything. So
Mhm.
soon. But before we do, I'm going to address a quick question here. Someone is asking, is there an age limit to the application? Or is there let's say if I've graduated for a long time, like over years, 10, 20 years, can I still apply?
I haven't seen any age limit. I don't know
Yeah.
whether Sami has seen anything like that. And
Yeah.
if you graduate for a very long year and then you've lost touch of your subject knowledge, you can also apply for a subject knowledge enhancement, which is free, and you may even get money from it. So you've graduated for 10 years, you've not been doing anything with your physics or your French background or your international modern foreign language background. You can still apply, or you can still request that, oh yeah, I've forgotten some of my basic things. So since it's been a long time, so I want to do um
Subject knowledge enhancement.
yeah, subject knowledge enhancement, and then they'll just put it in. And some universities may even give you something small. Now let me add
Okay.
this one in even in the visa application on the IELTS. I left something out. Even in the visa application, there was a portion that asked me whether my university require me to do IELTS or to write IELTS or to provide English language certificate or something. So on your statement, sorry, on your confirmation of acceptance of study, that's the CAS, they will state the requirement, whether you are required to provide IELTS or otherwise. So on my CAS, it was stated that the university has done an assessment and then my English language is enough. So in addition to my WASI, during my interview, there was some sort of English language assessment, written and then spoken assessment, which I qualify. So the university stated on the cast that they have done that and they are satisfied. So I do not require IELTS. That is it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I also give viewers this tip. If you want to do your statement of comparability, you do your statement of comparability through UK ENIC, UK
Yeah.
ENIC. When you're doing this, you can also request for English proficiency certificates. So on top of your documents, you're going to add an English proficiency letter from your school to prove that all your all your teaching, your assessment, and everything was done in English language.
English
You
language, yeah.
attach this to your documents, and then UK ENIC will issue you something called an English proficiency letter to say that you are proficient in English because you were taught and assessed in English.
Mhm.
Basically,
Yeah.
sometimes the um, immigration UKVI will accept this. Your school might not accept it, but UK immigration might accept it. So in the case that there's controversy, your school doesn't require IELTS, but maybe UKVI is requesting for one. You just give them that letter and you're good to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Now, the last part, we are wrapping up. We may have a second part in future because we haven't talked about dependents. We haven't talked about some certain things, but I think time is far spent. So we are cutting off now. If you want a part two, you can put in the comment section for us so that we can actually prepare and then put the exact questions, the exact things you want to know in the part two in the comment section for us so that we can prepare adequately and bring it to you. But in the meantime, my two gentlemen, do you have any further information you want to give to these wonderful viewers? Advice, guidance, anything, encouragement,
Okay.
anything.
Okay. All that I can say is that when you put your mind to onto something, if you dream of anything, you can achieve it by making the first step. You just don't have to just sit down and always be dependent on others, someone to go and read and come and tell you. All the information is on the internet. Don't just do TikToking and Facebooking. Just go to websites, do your research, invest your time in it. Don't be the typical African that whenever we encode something in a book, then it becomes a rocket science. No, just read. All the information is there. The informations are all they are scattered all around. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you
Thank
so much, Gabriel.
you. Yeah.
All right, so maybe you have something to add.
Mine's just something small. What I'll say is, whatever thing you plan to do, you can achieve it. So don't let anything to be a hindrance because life is just a risk. We don't know. We might sleep today, tomorrow, we are not there. So risk everything for what you want to achieve. That is all.
All right, so my final words. You may know me as a YouTuber, but you don't often see me on YouTube because I like to bring information that is authentic. I don't just want to publish something online just to get views, just to get, reactions and stuff. I want to give you that information that will help you to achieve that dream you want to achieve. But I can only give you the information. I can't take you through the entire process. I may be able to make follow up videos to give you more guidance and everything, but the entire hard work depends on you, the individual. Like they said, you have to do the reading, you have to prepare your personal statements, you have to prepare your statements of comparability if you want to. You have to pay for it. I can't pay for it for you. It's a whole lot. And it's a lot of dedication. Like you need to put in the work. You have to commit your heart to it. Second thing, you never know where your breakthrough is coming from. If you've heard this and you think you fit in the category, in the criteria, in the eligibility, my question is, why don't you try it? You will never know where yours is coming from. But you've said it in your heart, you want to travel. This is where you want to work. You want to be a teacher in the UK. Why don't you take this opportunity and try once? I'm really grateful to all of you that joined. People are asking for part two. We are going to prepare for part two. However, I will need you to put your questions in the comments. I will make sure I make this video available as well on YouTube, post live. So you can put your questions in the actual comment section. We will take notes of all your questions and then prepare another session and meet you all. Please interact. When I post the video, kindly put your comments. All right. People normally don't put comments. Kindly put your comments. I will also be adding links in the description box. Links to the DFE application website and where you can find further information so you can prepare adequately for your application. And just so you know, 2026-2027 academic year applications are ongoing. Applications are open currently and ongoing. So please take the opportunity and act now. I want to thank my two guests. I really appreciate your time. I know this was difficult to schedule because of time factor and everything.
Yeah.
Today being Christmas Sunday should have been the last day to consider, but apparently that was the day we got, so we had to do it. I'm very grateful you found time for me. And I know my viewers are grateful to you as well for bringing this information to their decks, for letting them know what you've also enjoyed. In future, we may organize the part two, bring them details about your step-by-step application, maybe some of the questions you got in your interviews and how you address them. What the group session interview was. Everything. So people will feel more confident in applying and they don't feel like they're going to get stuck in the middle of it. I really appreciate you. Thank you, guys. I'll see you
Thank
again
you for having
sometime.
us.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
No problem. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.